How we steer plasma storms, the scale of stars, that is the issue of survival from the planet. And it's an angelic problem, and that's why I'm bringing it up. So, effectively, the whale dream is a very long electric wave. It's a phonon wave of great length. The ability to call a wave that long depends on, well, it depends on your coherence, yeah? Now, if you look here, I wanted to show you this picture. Sorry, these are separate here. Yes, but if you look, the carving of the shape of that plasma storm was seen on rocks around the planet. This is the original model from the physics laboratory. And this is the Navajo, Armenia, Guyana, New Mexico, Spain, China, all over the world. The shamans carved what they saw on the rock. And you could tell the latitude they were at by the angle they put the two dots at of the plasma storm. So shamanically, they knew that God is a plasma storm. And that's an introduction that I don't have time for, which is about how you call angels, actually. And this is a bit of an introduction to Vincent Bridges tomorrow morning. Vincent Bridges, among other things, is maybe the world's leader on Ophanim Enochian, high-order angelic alphabets. Now, we didn't have time for that stuff here, but the short version of that story is that if you take the higher-order form of that alphabet, here's this 7-color map, you know, and you see that in the tetrahedron, yes? But now if you superpose that tetrahedron in a higher symmetry form, you get the higher alphabets. This is the programming language for DNA, charge absorption in DNA regulated by these charge domains. Now if you superpose, well here you see the same alphabet that was Hebrew became Sanskrit. They just took the tag-in off and put the vertical cross bars on. This was an ancient dragon script. It's actually the t-shirt I'm wearing. But the Ophanim Enochian was an alphabet shown to John Dee, and the geometry, this is Vincent Bridges' slide, is a hypercube. He's going to tell you more about this. But the fact is that you can actually call plasma storms the scale of stars if you know how to invoke the elements of symmetry of how they put their body together, the language of angels, literally. And this alphabet, by the way, became Greek, and here's actually the names of angels, which we're not going to pronounce. It became Cherokee. It became the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. It became the Bon Po, see the swastika? The initiation ceremony for Bon Po and the Cherokee are the same. Make a flame with your mind. The symmetry required to do that, to compress the plasma, is the origin of symbol. Yeah? Fire in the mind. And that alphabet then became the movie Stargate, if you remember the details. Yeah? So what we're suggesting is that it's time we as a planet did our homework to call the angels, quite literally. I have just hinted to you at why that one pattern for waves, pine cones kissing into a dodeca, is the cause of gravity and the cause of life, how life force gets voltage. I've shown you a little bit of how that's the cause of perception, golden ratio in brainwaves. In fact, there's another neuroscientist, Steve Lehar, who says perception is caused by phase conjugation. He agrees with me, yeah? And I've shown you how that is the origin of enlightenment, actually, the bliss moment, golden ratio in brainwaves, okay? Now, we're not going to go into the origin of alphabet and symbol tonight. A lot of you know my work in that regard. We have origin of alphabet and origin of color on that list, just to show you briefly. So if you take that golden spiral on that donut, here's the golden spiral on that donut, and you just look at it from the shadows of the 7 arrows of the tetra. I'm just changing your point of view on that golden spiral on that donut. And you see Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, okay? So that's the origin of alphabet, you see? So alphabet was about seeing how plasma could converge to compress. If you can compress the electric fields in the right symmetry sequence, then you can cause electric fields to compress inside your head, and you have the physics of psychokinesis. How the rabbi makes a golem, why John McGovern can interpret every petroglyph on planet Earth that any shaman ever painted, because he was painting the phosphine flare, the plasma residue of what he saw inside the liquid crystal of his brain. He was seeing a compression algorithm. So this is just a hint of the physics of alphabet, that in fact this symmetry of how tetrahedron stores electric fields is the only index to which DNA can absorb charge. So obviously that's the origin of the alphabet, because the only form in which biologic memory can be stored. So you can read about that and see more of the animations on the website goldenmean.info/DNA ring. If you want your dreams to come true, dream in the language of light, which is the elements of symmetry of electric fields. Yeah? Another way to see that is if you were to hang this properly in a tetrahedron under a tree and let the children spin it slowly, they would see the origin of the alphabet on the ground, and then their dreams would come true. Do you see the physics? That's the only way children should learn alphabets. There should be no other way, truly.